Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and we are going to be doing our long overdue debt video for October. I'm thinking for the month of November we're going to start doing these in the beginning of the month instead, but for right now let's go ahead and just get right into it. This is my second debt payment spread that I am going to be doing with you guys. The last one that I did and the first one that I ever did with you guys was back in June, and this is what it looked like. We're going to be talking a lot about changes because there's been a lot of changes since June, so I'm going to catch you guys up so we'll be on par for November. Just real quick, let me tell you guys about the planner I'm using. This planner is an Erin Condren monthly planner in the 7x9 size. I am planning on using this planner again for the new year of 2024, and I do plan on setting it up with you guys as well, so I will be working on those videos in the coming months. But for this specific spread, we're going to be doing our debt payments, debt updates, debt everything debt related. I have my sheet here. This is my debt payment sheet. This debt payment sheet is different from the overview, the yearly overview one. I'll show you guys the differences after I talk about it because that spread does have numbers already that we will talk about in a second. I'm going to put my debt spread on this side. Okay, so debt payments did start again this month, so we already did make our first payment of from the restart for both mine and my husband's. We did end up deciding to pay off some of our debts as well, so things have definitely changed. I am also going to talk to you guys about my inserts, since these are the ones I did use to track a lot of my debt payments, so we'll talk about these in a second too, just to fully give you guys a update. Now for our debt payments, I don't even know what I was saying. Okay, hold on. I need to collect my thoughts while I lay down this sticker. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I did end up putting notes down for this one, but let me actually write down our debts just to show you guys the comparison. For June, we had $26,087.85. This is only my husband's debts because I wanted to focus on paying my husband's debts so we can no longer have that one student loan payment. For mine's, we're going to focus after we pay off his because mine's is just more than his. This is how many he had at the end of June, but we definitely did pay off a good chunk of these, so let's actually talk about that first. So I did end up writing out at the beginning of October what the amounts are because interest does start to accumulate and it ends up adding some amounts in there. But the first one for him, we have a debt name of AA. This one, the amount was $1,777.17. Interest for this one is 3.61%. We are enrolled into auto pay, so it does deduct that extra 0.25%, which is good. So we have that first one. Second one is actually the same exact thing, but this is called AC. This one is $1,777.17, 3.61% as well. Next one is AE. And these are the new names because his got sold over to Nelnet. So this is just what the new names are for these loans. Before it was with Great Lakes. And honestly, I think I prefer Great Lakes more. We can talk about that later. And this one is at 4.04% interest. So this is definitely a bit higher than the first two. The remaining of these are higher in general, but AF. This one is also around $4,482.70. The interest for this is slightly different. This is at 3.501%. And then last but not least, we have AG. This one, the starting amount was at $5,479. Okay, just kidding. I forgot. Okay, this was actually one of the ones that we made a payment for. So this is actually, the starting amount was $2,479, and this interest is at 4.2%. All right, so these are the remaining bills. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is just add this up real quick. Let me put down my last little strip here, and then we can talk about how much everything is. So it's really nice that it's like deducted by so much. I think when we're down to like one more payment or something, then I'll start incorporating, or maybe after we pay off 2 more, I'll start incorporating my student loans in here in this overview as well. I think it's just easier to consume knowing that it's a smaller amount versus like a hefty amount. It's kind of a little discouraging, at least for me. But adding all of these up times 2 plus 448335 plus 4482 70, and then we have 2479. The total that we started October with is $14,999.39. That was at the start of October, so that is very different from what it was prior. So I want to put my lines in real quick. I should have done my lines first, so like things wouldn't be so like crooked, but I'll know for next month. But as you guys can see, this is before interest started, so a lot of these numbers are the same, but we still have the AA and the AC. Both of them are still over here. AE, AF, and AG. AE, AF, and AG, these are still here as well. And AE and AF is basically the same amount for both, but AG, we did end up paying $3,000 off of this one. That's why it is $2,479. You guys will see that AH, AI, and AD are all gone. So, because we paid all of them off. And let me take you guys to the back of the planner to show you guys our debt overview. So this one is our debt payment spread, which is month by month. It has the debt name, start, interest, minimum payment, additional payment, and the end amount, because I like to see how much like it changed from the beginning to the end, because interest does add quite a bit, especially if you have a high interest. Our debt overview, this is just like our holder of all debts as the months goes on, years go on, when it was finally paid off, what the total amount paid for each one is. So we did make a payment and paid off AH, AD, AI, AG, we did pay $3,000. So we have our remaining balances for some of these. So a lot of them is 0, and then this one we still have $24.79. It's so nice to see some accomplishments over here of some of these ones being paid off. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left over. We ended up deciding to pay off one of mine, which was 0.3, and that's because the interest was like higher, 4.41%. I mean, it was kind of like a random call for us to do it, but because our savings account, our interest is like 4.3% or something, we decided to just pay this off because like we're losing interest in this. But that's kind of like what it looks like. And just to show you guys a little bit more about this overview, I personally really like seeing everything. I know for some, like, it's kind of like, why does it matter knowing how much the total was paid? But for me, it's motivation to pay it off because I'm seeing how much money is wasted towards interest. Like, for example, our loan for 04, $6,000, when we finally paid it off in 2019, I could only imagine how much more it would be right now, but it was already an additional close to $1,400 of interest that accumulated. So it's kind of like, dang, like, it's just like, it makes me want to continue paying things off because I see the interest that's like spent on it. Like, luckily for the 03, it's like $26 of additional interest. This one here, we gained like $80 in interest. For this one, we gained like $7 interest. So it's just really nice for me to see. I know for some, like, it really is just like, don't think about it and see, because like there's nothing I can do about it anyway. But again, for me, it's just personal preference, and I just like to see the differences. Like for AI, when we finally paid it off last month, 2 months ago, in August, it was extra $105 in interest that was paid. AB was extra $189 in interest that was paid. So it kind of just like is a reminder, like, get it done because it's just going to keep accumulating in interest. But that is what this overview in the back looks like. And I am planning on setting up 2024's debt overviews at the beginning of the year just to refresh these amounts and everything with you guys then. and I am going to have 4 new designs for 2024 as well. These designs will still be available, but I'll have 4 additional ones. But now going back to the debt overview for October. All right, so now that we have the base down and most of the updates, let me just make sure and check my notes that I'm not missing anything. Okay, so we are looking good. I also wanted to pay those amounts off just to lower our monthly payments too, because I'm realizing that when we paid it off, it lowered both mine and my husband's monthly payments by a little bit, which is really nice, because the end goal is to get rid of those monthly payments altogether. Okay, so I wanted to put that little thin washi down, and I do want to put notes at the bottom, but I do want to at least put like, I think I want to use this remaining thick washi because I have it. So I'm going to put this here. And then I'll use the last thin washi, I guess. I don't know if this is like too much or not, but I'm going to just decorate it. I don't really have like a full like setup for this that like I like to go to, like a go-to setup yet. So I'm probably gonna just keep laying it down and seeing what I like and don't like. Okay, so this ends up blending in. I didn't really think about that, but I mean, okay, so total paid for this month. So these 2 sheets are done. But now to talk about this notes. So minimum payments for all of these combined is $124.40, and that is for all of them combined. If you guys watched my week 4 check-in for October, you guys will know that we ended up paying a manual payment of additional $124.40 because the automatic payment didn't come out until like 3-4 days after the due dates. So it kept saying that we were like past due, and it was freaking me out. Apparently this is like a thing with NoNet, but I really didn't like it. I didn't want to take the chance, so I ended up making an additional payment the day after that it was due because I saw the past due thing, and I didn't want it to mess with our credit score. Dustin did try to call NoNet, but they never called him back, and he wasn't going to sit in the queue for hours on end. So that's what ended up happening. But we did end up doing the minimum payment. But I do want to note in here that we paid an additional payment. So we did pay the additional $124.40 because ACH was late and it was taken from savings to pay. So that was that first amount. So the additional payment is $124.40. But I actually want to pay a little bit more from our savings account. And I think I'm actually going to just add both of the 124s up together, 124.40 times 2. Because we made the extra payment, and I don't want to put like this payment was, this 124.40 was paid towards a specific thing. I'm gonna just put this in here because this was taken and paid across the board to all of them. It's funny that like less than $150 of this actually went towards principal. The rest of it went towards interest. But anyway, okay, so we have this amount in here, but I do want to pay an additional amount from our savings. So at the end of our week 4 check-in, we talked about how much was in our savings account. So this is in our short-term savings. For the month of November, we will need $5,000 for our monthly budget. So that means we need to make sure at least $5,000 stays in here. We currently have $6,500. I'm thinking of paying an extra $1,000. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pay an extra $1,000 from our savings account towards the loan AG because this one currently has the highest interest. I am going from highest interest to lowest interest. So the additional payment, I'm going to pay $1,000 from this account towards this loan, and that is going to be what we're going to do. So extra $1,000. Okay, so the extra $1,000 from short-term savings is going towards this loan. So I'm going to go ahead and pay this loan. That means the total for our savings account is now going to be $5,504.29. So that is how much is in the savings now, since I transferred $1,000 over to our primary checking account to pay off that student loans. And if Nelnet decides to take a gajillion years, it's okay, because in this account I already assume that all funds in here are going somewhere, so it works out. And if you guys are curious about how my checking account, savings accounts are set up, I will have a video linked below. I do have a couple of videos talking about how I set this up to begin with, because we are cashless budgeters, how we got started with just setting up our checking accounts and everything like that. But now for the total paid for this month, I'm going to include that minimum payment, but it is $1,248.80. I'm pretty sure future months we won't be able to put that much extra in here, but what every penny counts, so it works out. But let's talk about our end amount for all of these categories. At the end of the month, I did end up writing how much each category is as well, because interest adds. So I definitely wrote it down too, and that's also why for the month of November I want to do this at the beginning of the month and then maybe wrap up in the results video what the end amount is for all the categories, because again, I like to track interest because it just, for me, it's a motivator. For this first category, the amount is $1,763.34, and then we have same amount, so $6,334. For AE, we have $4,451.67. For AF is $4,447.09. And then for this last category, well, after we make this payment, it'll be $1,421.56. So that is what the end amounts look like currently. So I'm going to add this up: 1,763.34 plus 1,763.34 plus 4451.67 plus 444709, and then 1421.56. That equals a total of $13,847 even. Wow. All right. So now that we talked about how much the total is at the end, I kind of want to calculate to see, okay, so 14,999.339. Let's pretend we didn't pay off that 1,000 yet. I kind of want to just see what it looks like. So minus the 248.80 means that interest was like around $90 that we've accumulated so far. Okay, it is what it is. I can't really do anything about the interest. Now that this spread is now done, I just want to take one last look and compare it to June. I know like I might be a little excessive with like the comparisons and stuff, but it's so nice to me seeing progress. I am one to definitely need to see progress to feel good and to feel like accomplished and motivated. If I see nothing change, I have a tendency of feeling a little sad about it. And all right, so at the end of June, we went down to 24,593. At the end of October, we're basically at 14,000. So we paid over $10,000 for my husband's student loans, and I'm very happy. I'm feeling really good. Yeah, so that's actually gonna be it for this debt payment. I do plan on doing this earlier in the month from now on, and then probably just doing the end amounts at the end of the month in the results video. But regardless, I hope that you guys still enjoyed this debt payment update type situation. If you guys have any questions, please do definitely let me know. Okay, so I realized I almost completely forgot to talk about the inserts before stopping the video. Well, I did stop the video, but I'm back to finish talking about these inserts. I do have debt tracker inserts. I know one of you guys have asked me about when I'm planning on restocking these. I really do have to find time. I want to do them by the end of this month. I don't even know. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing from day in to day out. But I wanted to just give you guys an update to these. This comes in a trio, and I wanted to show you guys the differences in here too. So from June to November, I wanted to just mark how much we paid off for. Every single month I want to put like a new amount that we paid off or what the updated amount is. I don't really put the end amount. I might start, I'm not really sure. The two that I wanted to mainly give you guys an update on was the debt payoff progress and also the visual for each loan. So just to quickly talk to you guys about it, I have the debt payment where this is for each loan. Right now I'm focusing on AG, which is the one that we just paid an extra $1,000 for. So I might as well color that in with you guys right now. I also just do like this purpley color, but each one for me, each little credit card equals $40. So 1,000 divided by 40 is 25. So I am going to color in 25 of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And we're so close to paying this off. I probably could do a better job of coloring them in, but right now, since I'm doing it on camera with you guys, I kind of just want to get through this. But while I do this, I might as well talk to you guys about them. So for this is like a color tracker, so you color in the progress and of how much each credit card is. So when it's all colored in, that means that loan is completely paid off and colored in. These are all laminated, so you can just use some alcohol wipes and wipe them off. I usually recommend to use black ink because black comes off easier. I don't know if you guys can see the discoloration on here, but some of the darker Sharpie markers that I've used, it kind of stains it a little bit and it's hard to get out. So I do recommend to use lighter Sharpie markers. Definitely dry erase markers are good, or black Sharpie markers. But this is what AG looks like. We started with a starting balance of 5,500. So we are so close to completing it, so I'm very excited. I put the APR on here, the creditor, the name of it, and then also what each one is, just in case it's not a student loan, it's like a credit card or something. You guys are able to fill that in. But for this one, this is the one that I look at a lot. So we paid off another $1,000. I would say that that's another 25% that we've paid, roughly, more or less. I would say that. I'm going to give that to ourselves. I'm going to give it to us. So we only have like 25% left. Because like I can't color this in partially, but I prefer to do it this way. I also can wait to make another payment. But no, I'm just going to give it to us. We have only a quarter of it left to be paid off. But each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 different sections for 10 different loans. But each one has where you can put the name of it on here. So we have AA, the starting amount of the loan, the date that you finally paid it off, the total paid, and then as you color in each one and go through paying it off, there's a little tracker for 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. So once it's all colored, it means it's all paid. I ended up adding mine on here because I feel very accomplished when I see the progress of things. So I wanted to add it on here because we did pay off one of mine's, even though it doesn't actually add up to my husband's total amounts. This one is an oops, so you guys see that line that's down here. It's supposed to be up there, but this one's an oops, but it's mine, so it's okay. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on this as well, since I said I was going to. But we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a part of that 5th loan to be paying off next. So once this is fully colored, I will feel so good. Right after this one, we're probably going to focus on that 4.04%, which is AE. So we'll probably focus on paying that one off next. When we finally do, I'll wipe this all off with you guys and kind of rewrite it in. That was just a quick update for the debt tracker. And again, I am trying to find time to restock it, but I'm not sure when. Yeah, so that is actually going to be it for my updates. I know I still have to update you guys with like our home savings too. This is just a different story. We'll talk about this in a different video. But I think that is actually it for the most part. Thank you guys so much as always for tuning in. I hope that you guys still enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye.